All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Team Time tonight. It is Monday, August the 6th. Glad that you are here joining us. The topic tonight is talking about the one thing that's going to grow your business. And actually, we've got a little bit more than just one thing to share with you tonight, so that's exciting. And as we get started here, one of the things that we heard at convention that was really impactful for me that I thought would just share, I have here, see if y'all can see it. It's a piece of thin string. Can y'all see that through my camera? It's pretty thin, right? And the idea here is that we are all connected by this piece of thin string. So somebody had to say yes to help, right, in order for us to be here tonight. So the first person, Dr. A, obviously, but then somehow Susan Pallas said yes to help, and then Dee said yes to help, and then maybe you said yes to help, and now I said yes to health, and it's exciting to see who else is going to say yes to health and whose life is going to be changed because you're here and because you're a coach. So if y'all wouldn't mind, go ahead and muting yourself now. You can see the button to do that, and I can go through and kind of mute you as well. Awesome. Perfect. That'll help with playback as well. But I thought that was pretty cool, the thought about the little piece of thin string. And how we're all connected with Optavia. So I just thought I would share that. So I'm going to have Courtney Colcord hop on, come off a mute for a minute, Executive Director Courtney Colcord, who's going to share the one thing that she's done in her business that has changed everything. So Courtney, would you share with us?
Yeah, I would love to. I feel like hands down, my most successful months are months that I have a plan, and which is the map for me. It is such a great tool that Optavia does give us. And I feel, sorry, I'm on my phone. That's a little, there we go. Yeah, so I use the map and I really see a difference on my results every single month that I use that. I feel like it's kind of like going into the gym and wanting to leave with a stronger body, a healthier body, but not really having a plan. So you kind of just walk around the treadmills and kind of look at the weights, and you leave and you're like, I don't know why I'm not stronger. Because you don't really have a plan. So I do feel like the months where I'm really intentional and I know what I'm working towards and what I'm going for, I am so much more likely to hit that, and sometimes more than if I'm just like, well, it's the middle of the month. I guess it's not going to be a good month. I don't really have a lot of traction. I didn't plan for it. So I feel like when I'm really intentional and I set a path that I intend on following and have a goal to work towards, I'm so much more likely to hit those goals. And I feel like the map is an awesome tool for that. Try to send it to Meg at the beginning of the month, every month, just to hold myself accountable, and to know like she's waiting on that. And I really feel like that's truly when I started to see a bump in my frontline volume and could just start helping more people. That's when I was intentional with that. Oh, you're Meg, you're muted.
Thanks, Courtney, for sharing that with us. I loved to see how your business just exploded once you started doing the map, and I can tell you the same thing happened for me in my business. So this is what the map looks like. If you're a new coach, your goal is to get started with 5 new clients and get up to senior coach. So you might be just working on that, working to get to senior coach. And so if you are, I challenge you to write down a list of people who are on your heart that you might want to help. Work with your business coach on that. But once you hit senior coach, having a monthly action plan, which is that map, makes a big difference. And we talk about this a lot because it's that important. So I cannot tell you how important this is. And shout out to Erin Bloodworth, who sent me her map early this morning and put her goals out there being bold, which is awesome. And it allows your coach to know how to walk alongside you or run alongside you and help encourage you and support you on your goal for whatever that looks like. So thanks, Courtney, for sharing that. Cool. So we're going to share another thing that's helpful to So that was like the teaser, right? The one thing you can do to move your business forward, and definitely doing a map or writing down your monthly goal is absolutely something that's going to move your business forward. But there's another thing that you can do to move your business forward. And that really is when my business went from good to great. And that happened about in January of this year. There was a major shift in concepts in my mind and in my heart. And so excited to share what that looks like with y'all tonight. And it all is around coaching other coaches and sponsoring. And I know for me, I had a lot of fears when it came to sponsoring. And so I want to share some of those with y'all. But would y'all put a 1 in the comment box? See if y'all can find the comment box or the chat below. And let's go on mute, everybody, if you can. Here we go. Put a 1 in the comment box below if you are ready to grow your business. That would be awesome. Love that. Anne's ready. So let's just fill that comment box. Kristen's ready. Debbie, Beth, love it. All these people that are being ready. So I'm going to do a quick screen share to show y'all. We got a little fancy tonight. We've got a PowerPoint presentation. Watch out. And y'all remember, as I show you this, I'm the health coach in the family. My husband's the CPA. So can y'all see that? Everybody can see what that looks like? Thumbs up. All right. Thank you, Linda. Perfect. All right. Awesome. So why coach another coach? We're going to look at the common fears and the reasons for helping another coach get started and why it's going to make sense in your business. But Lauren Humans, would you mind popping off a mute here for a minute and sharing? You're pretty new as a coach on our team. You're also an executive director, and you've got 3 coaches on your team. Would you mind sharing with us how coaching another coach has helped your business and how you see it making a difference?
Yeah. So sorry, I was trying to figure out how to do this because my computer wasn't working. So can you hear me okay? Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I became a coach like 3 months ago, and honestly, coaching coaches was kind of scary for me. And so I just really started coaching coaches within the last month or so. And so it's been still a learning process for me, but honestly, I feel like in talking with Meg and with Dee and some others, I was starting to get a little bit overwhelmed with my own client load. And so, I was really encouraged to try to start helping other coaches or other clients to do this. And I think, for me, I feel like it's been such a amazing journey of my own, and then to be able to help clients along the way has just been such an amazing process for me and really helped me stay accountable. And honestly, it's been such a joy to share about this program and to see other people change their lives through this. And so really teaching my clients like how, I want them to experience what I've experienced with Optavia and to take it to the next level. And so to be able to help, now it's my mom, my mother-in-law, and then one of the girls who was a nurse practitioner student in my practice are all coaches. And so, getting to see them experience it and getting to see them start to taste what it's like to help people through their journeys and to help see such a difference in people's lives has been awesome. And honestly, it's helped me clear up my schedule a little bit to be able to pass along some of the clients who honestly I just don't really have time to serve right now, and to be able to train these new coaches and how to help them so that I'm not feeling, so that when I do get clients who I really don't have the time for, I can have my new coaches take them over, which has honestly been a huge help for me. And a lot of taking, initially it is a time investment to help them initially, but to kind of free up some of that time has been amazing in the last week or two. So I hope that helps.
There we go. All right. Can y'all hear me now? No? Okay. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Lauren. It's cool to see how you've taken coaching and run with it. And now you're taking coaching coaches and you're running with that too. And so many of us were chasing this cruise that we talked about last week which for a lot of people means we need a higher group volume, right? We need to get fully integrated. So I think this is something that every single one of us can definitely benefit from. So I'm going to go back to screen sharing here and show y'all this PowerPoint we got. All right, so we're going to look at some of the common fears and the reasons for helping another coach get started. And there are several different reasons why you probably decided to coach. Would you also pop in the comment section below in the chat and tell us why you chose to be a coach? That would be great information for us to just know as we're talking to other people. But some people decided to become a health coach because they wanted life impact. They wanted to have significance. I know for me, I was a stay-at-home mom I was bored. I needed to talk to adults. I was talking to little tiny dictators all day long, right? So that's one of the reasons why I became a health coach. Some people choose to become health coaches because they want to help other people. We get freedom in our own health and in our bodies, and we want to pass that along. Some people, it's real life health insurance, right? We know if you become a health coach, you are 5 times more likely to keep your weight off after 2 years. So that's a reason why some people choose to become health coaches. And then the last is the financial opportunity, which is definitely not the least reason people choose to become a health coach, because the reality is we are paid well for doing well and for doing good, which is pretty exciting. And I love that, Joni, you put in the chat that you're helping others. Katie, you too. That's awesome. Me too. I love that. Love seeing your heart and why you chose to become a coach. So why do you want to coach a coach, right? Like, why does that even matter? Well, if you can walk alongside and help another coach get started and build a business of their own, you're going to be able to help more people, right? You're going to see greater life transformations. You're going to help people not only get healthy bodies, but you're going to help somebody get healthy finances, right? And get that healthy mind. You're going to create time freedom for yourself. Just like Lauren said, there are so many people out there who need what we have, and we can't coach them all. We just can't. So you can create time freedom by teaching somebody else to do what you do. And then last, of course, but not least, is to generate that financial freedom where you can start making that residual income, which makes a big difference in your bottom line. And we'll show you some of the specifics and the financial numbers here in just a minute. Well, this next slide is near and dear to my heart. Something that I haven't been real open about is the fact that I said no to coaching probably at least 6 times. I had a lot of fears about becoming a health coach. And so would y'all put in the chat also maybe some of the fears that you have about or that you had before you said yes to health coaching? I know for me, I'd struggled with my weight my whole life, and I didn't feel like the expert. I certainly didn't feel like a coach. And so that was that was a fear that I definitely had and had to combat. And Dominique, you said time, being afraid you didn't have the time to help others. That's one that you'll hear a lot when you're sharing this opportunity with other people. Wendy said that she's kind of similar to me. How can you coach somebody else when you haven't met your goal yet? That's something that you probably talk to your own coach about, I bet. Lisa has one similar to what so many people would say is they don't have a weight loss story. So how can you be a coach? And so that I've heard that a lot. The credibility of self, afraid that you're not a model of health yet. Absolutely. And I'm right there with you. Susan Giesland, afraid she didn't have the skill set to coach coaches. I still feel that way. I'm nervous even talking to y'all on this call tonight. I was, scared to death to get on this call because I want to make sure I could give you something that was of worth. So I'm right there with you, Susan. Knowledge, and Lauren said weight's been a struggle for her. Thanks, Lisa. But yeah, y'all, this is so good because we all have fears. I know I'm not the only one with fears. We talk to people all day long that have fears. So we're going to explore a little bit more on what some of those fears are, and that's going to help you not just, number one, know you're not alone if you have fears about coaching a coach, but also it's going to help you as you're talking about this opportunity and to be able to relate to other people. All right, so we'll go to the first fear that we hear a lot. and this was one that I don't know how to coach another coach. I didn't know what I was doing. And the reality is that's okay. You don't have to know what to do. Your business coach is there to show you and guide you. Just like they were there when you were a client needing to know the program, they're going to be there as a coach, learning how to coach other coaches, right? And if you can guide a client through our program, you can absolutely guide another coach. They are so similar. And I'll walk you through just how similar they are in just a second. Another fear that I hear a lot and that we all have is that we're afraid we're going to be responsible for somebody else's success, or more likely their failure, right? Like we don't want to own somebody else's failure or feel bad that they didn't make the kind of money that they wanted to make, or whatever the case may be. The reality is we are all responsible for our own success. We're independent business owners. And your coach can walk alongside you and equip you and empower you, but you're the one that has to do the work, right? Just like whoever you're working with, right, as a coach, they're going to have to do the work. We're simply a guide. That's our part of the puzzle. So, but that's a fear that I definitely still struggle with from time to time. The third fear is that you have to be an expert before you sponsor. I hear this from clients all the time when I bring up health coaching, because I do try to bring it up a good bit. They tell me, I haven't read the book yet. I don't know all the answers. And y'all, if you just came on, if you could mute yourself, I can't see who that is, but that would be helpful. But we are all learning. None of us are experts yet. And you don't have to be an expert before you sponsor. You just have to be one step ahead of the person you're coaching. The next fear is fear number 4, that you don't have time to coach another coach, right? Somebody said that in the chat below. You can ask your business coach if you want help or guidance on this. That's the reality, because we are all here to help you. But just like coaching another client is time intensive on the front end, getting a coach set up to coach another person is time intensive on the front end. But the beautiful thing is once you get them up and running, it's just like with your clients, right? You really get to benefit from the economies of scale and from the time freedom that you get up and running. All right, so here's something else, the similarities. There are so many similarities between coaching clients and coaching coaches, right? You see that graphic that I just love in the middle of the screen there. It's pretty much the same concept, right? What do we do when we're coaching clients? Number 1, we encourage them to get integrated, right? Join the Facebook group, show up, right? Be on the calls on Wednesday night. Well, what do we do when we're coaching a coach, right? We show them to get it integrated, like every single one of you are doing right now by being on this call, right? We encourage them to be in the coaches Facebook group. We want to find out our clients' why. We want to find out our coaches' why. We want to find out the goals of our clients and the goals of our coaches. We give them accountability, encouragement. We guide them. We give them that support. The same thing is true with coaching another coach, right? So if you can coach a client, even though it might be scary, you can absolutely coach another coach as well. And we'll go to the next slide here. So let's look at some hypothetical numbers. And please, everybody, pay attention to the disclaimer at the bottom of the page, because these are all hypothetical, right? This is not a specific person, and this is no guarantee that this is going to be your reality. So just want to throw that out there. But we're going to look at 2 hypothetical examples. One is going to be a senior coach who's helping 5 clients, who's coaching 2 coaches. And then we're also going to look at an associate director that's helping 12 clients who's coaching 2 coaches. Does that sound good? And should we pause? Let's pause for a second before we look at these numbers. Is this helpful? Are we tracking? Any questions? And Dominic's asking me if I can mute everybody.
That's really loud. I don't know who's not unmuted or muted.
Are we good now? I think I found it. Are we good? Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Dee was here. That definitely wouldn't happen, but we're learning. It's okay. Any other questions? No? Okay. Y'all want to get to the numbers? Because that's the fun part, right? Yeah, let's do it. All right. So here's some numbers to share. Like I said, hypothetical numbers here for you. I've got some pictures of hypothetical coaches. I literally Googled meet Rosie and this cute girl popped up. So this is not an actual coach, but let's just think, okay, Rosie, she is a senior coach. She's helping 5 clients. Let's take a look at her business and what's happening with her income, right? So Rosie's a senior coach. She has those 5 clients. Each of them order a kit that's $356, right? So she's making commission of about $356. Are we all tracking? Thumbs up? Cool. All right. Thanks, Linda. Perfect. All right. So now Rosie is going to sponsor 2 coaches. Woo! Go Rosie. All right. So 2 of those coaches become a coach. And I'll just tell you, if you have 5 clients, you've got at least 2 potential coaches in there. In fact, I think you probably have more like 4 potential coaches in there. But let's just say 2 of those coaches become a client. So let's look at what some of her income could be from coaching those coaches, right? So we already looked at her frontline volume and her commission at $356. But let's say her 2 coaches each help 3 clients, okay? And each one of those 3 clients has $356 that they order, right? Rosie makes $85 from coaching those coaches, right? And you just imagine that's residual, because usually when you order 4 times. Typically when a client orders, if we coach them well. So are we tracking so far with that? Are we all good? All right, this is where it gets fun. All right, so let's just say Rosie's coaches, she's killing it, right? They become not just coaches, but they become senior coaches. So they're like Rosie, they're each helping 5 people, right? So now Rosie isn't just a senior coach anymore, right? Because she has 2 senior coach legs underneath her. She jumps up, not just from senior coach, but to manager, and then she jumps to an associate director, right? So her pay gets bumped up from 20% commission as a senior coach to 24% as an associate director. Does that make sense? Are we tracking? So not only is she making more money because she has senior coaches under her on her own clients, but she also makes a commission for helping that coach get started as well. So you can see now Rosie's making almost $600 a month or $570 a month now, which is pretty exciting from coaching another coach. So we went from being at, by herself $356 to helping 2 senior coaches. She's now at $569. So it's exciting to see how our income just starts to multiply. All right. Now this is where I'm going to take a little break from this. I'm going to pause the screen share. See if I can exit. There we go. Stop the share. Is MK still on here? Cool. MK, I'm going to unmute you. Now MK is a new executive director on our team. I don't know if you've ever met her, but she's super fun and she's a new executive director. And what's really cool about MK's story is once she got started with Optavia, she brought senior coaches on really quick, really fast. So MK, would you mind sharing what that has done for your business?
Yeah, and I apologize, I'm driving, so I'm like holding my phone up and it's kind of dark and shaky. But yeah, so I think y'all have probably touched on it a little bit so far, but just wanted to reiterate that yes, it's, I think we're all doing this at least partly to help other people, right? Like it's just so incredible to be able to spread the word to other people and to really, through other coaches on your team, get to help people that you may have never met. And so that overarchingly is definitely just such a cool thing. But financially, for me as a CPA, like I'm just all about the numbers. And I think I've asked Meg to sit down with me and like write down numbers like 100 times. Like, what if I did this and what would it look like to get this? And it's just, yeah. So, but it just makes so much sense financially, not only for you, but for your clients who could be great coaches, because it would help them financially. And it also, I think there's, and Meg, correct me if I'm wrong, I think, there's a point at which you can only get so far in the business by helping clients. So if you really want to, I think, grow to past executive director, it depends on having coaches under you. So, and it takes people a while. I have another direct sales company as well, and it just takes people, I've noticed, a while to, even if they see it and even if they want it, you're not going to say, oh, you should be a coach, and then they're going to be like, okay, I'll sign up tomorrow. I had a couple of friends who, one of them's on the line right now, Jessica, who I love, but, they were pretty quick to see how awesome this could be. But for most people, I have like 5 people that I'm just dying to be coaches, but they're like, well, not right now. I'm not done with my transition. I don't know if I have time, like all the things you've said. So just starting ASAP, trying to get coaches, because at the end of the day, maybe you'll get 5 tomorrow, but most likely you'll plant a seed, and then you'll have to plant another seed, and then you'll have to plant another seed. So starting now, trying to grow your coaching team may not result in coaches tomorrow that you're not ready for, but it will start the process of planting the seed in their mind that they can do this and that you are there for them. And then maybe a couple weeks down the line or a couple months down the line, those people are going to say, you know what, yeah, I'm ready, because you planted the seed today. So, if you even think that this is something that you want to do in the future, just start chatting to people about it, because you'd be surprised by how many people are interested in it, and also, by how many times it takes to talk to them about it. So I think I just can see, I've asked Meg to kind of draw out the whole picture from now to like the highest level of what that looks like, and it takes a lot of coach teams. So I just definitely wanted to not only start helping my own clients, but building that coach team as well if I want to ever reach those goals. I hope that helps.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that, MK. That was awesome. All right, so let's go back and look at this example of this girl, Wendy, right, who's an associate director. So she's got about 12 clients that she's helping. So her frontline volume, you can see there in this little document here, she's making about $1,000 a month. She's probably pretty happy, right? Well, let's say Wendy gets certified, because she was on a call like this and we talked about the importance of getting certified, because you can get that 3% pay bump, and you also are eligible for bonuses. So now she's making a little bit more every month. Well, let's just say that Wendy, associate director, she sponsors 2 coaches. And those 2 new coaches, let's say they become senior coaches, right? So let's look at what happened. So Wendy went from an associate director, and with 2 legs underneath her of senior coaches, she went from associate director to executive director. So she is now an executive director, right? And she went from making $1,000 a month, and then now with what she's making from her pay bump for herself personally, right, to also her team growth bonus, she's making about $500 more a month. Pretty stinking exciting, right? I don't know about you, but I can think of a lot of things I could do with $500 extra a month. That makes me excited. So this is just an example. This is purely hypothetical, this girl, Wendy, but this is what we call the blended path, or going ED or executive director via the blended path. So just wanted to share with you how this would work. So just to kind of give you some information, if you went ED by your frontline volume alone, which means you had $6,000 of frontline volume, you're making about $1,900 a month. Versus if we look at what she was just making, Wendy, she was making about $1,600 a month, right? So it's very similar. However, she's not having to coach 10 of those clients, right? Her coaches are coaching those 10 clients. So it's a great way to experience time freedom. This is a document on the team growth bonus. You can see this in your back office. And just wanted to throw this out there just so you can put the nugget in the back of your head, because I know we're running out of time. These illustrations, they do not include consistency bonuses for coaching clients or coaching coaches, right? You have an additional $2,000 a month $2,000 a quarter that we could get 4 times a year available to you in these consistency bonuses. So that's a whole nother layer of income that you can talk to your business coach on if that's a goal of yours. So I wanted to throw that out there. All right, so why coach a coach? We kind of already talked about this, but coaching another coach allows you to help more people, because we can't coach everybody by ourselves. It's going to help you see greater life transformations, not just physical transformations, but there will be more physical transformations. It'll be financial transformations. You're going to create time freedom for yourself, right? And you'll also create financial freedom. Just think back on Wendy and her extra $500 a month. And that is financial freedom that she gets to have now. All right, so now let's open it up, see if anybody has any questions. I'll stop the share. I know that was a lot of information that we threw out tonight. Would you raise your hand if you have a question on how any of that works or anything that we shared tonight? Jessica, are you raising your hand?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, you were just touching.
I was actually reaching for my food. So I'm eating dinner. But you're awesome, Meg. Thank you.
Any questions? Raise your hand. Nobody? Y'all got it? Woo! Cool. Was this helpful? Yeah, some nods. Okay, awesome. Cool. Well, I hope it was helpful. I hope, oh, Lisa's trying to figure out how to raise her hand. Sorry, thanks. All right, Lisa, go for it.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. So strategically, we have a question. Ann Spivey is a new coach with me, and she's on the call. And she asked me earlier today about frontline volume. And Ann, if I'm getting this wrong, just tell me. But do you, so say for instance, you have someone that you know is going to bring in a lot of frontline volume. Is it better to have them as your client or as your coach? Like, because at some point down the line, is it true that you don't get paid on frontline volume anymore? Do you know what I'm talking about, Meg?
You don't get paid on your own frontline volume?
Is that correct? We don't get paid on our own frontline volume at some point when we hit a certain level?
No, you will always get paid. And if you're at the top, so if you're an ED or above, you're making, and you're certified, you're making 31%. And if you have 5 clients, you'd have to have more than 5 clients, right? But if you have 18 clients, you're making 31%. If you've got 1,800 clients, which I don't know how that could physically happen, but let's just say it could, you'd still make 31%. Now, as far as, whether or not you want to bring on somebody else underneath you who you know is going to be an all-star, is that what you're asking? Like somebody who might be a client who might become a coach?
I think so. So yeah. Yeah.
So I think once you get to senior coach, it makes sense to start adding coaches, right? And once you get to senior coach, it helps you build your book of business. And I would talk to Dee about the specifics, because this situation sounds like it might be a little bit more specific. But one of the things I love about Optavia is we are all incentivized to help each other, right? So even if a coach underneath me, blows it out of the water, I want that to happen. It's good for me, right? It's good for me when other people succeed, which is one of the reasons why I love being a part of Optavia. So it's good for Susan when Dee succeeds, right? It's good for Dee when I succeed. So we all, the way that our comp plan was designed was really to get us all to be a success and to help as many people as we can. But as far as the specifics on how all that can work out, I recommend talking to your business coach on the specifics of it. Is that helpful?
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Good. Any other questions? No? Are we good? Awesome. All right. Well, thank y'all for your time. Thank you for investing in yourself and your clients and your coaches. I just go back to thinking how we started with this little string and how every single one of us, given up our Monday night to be on this call, we are all connected. And it's cool to think about who else is going to be connected to us on our string, because we are sharing this opportunity. And I know for me, it's blessed my family socks off and so many of the people I'm working with, and excited to see who it's going to bless next. So thank y'all for being on the call and for being with us. Y'all have a great night.